All right, here we go. We are doing practice quiz 5.5. Practice quiz 5.5. You need a calculator. Gotta have a calculator to do this. So here we go. Number one. Solve the triangle given H is 62, S is 53, and side H is 10. So the first thing you need to be able to do is draw your triangle. Now, your C, H, and S do not have to be in the same, this does not have to be C, this can be anything. But wherever you put angle H, the 10 is across from it. Okay? So everybody got a triangle set up? Yeah. Alright, so we need to find side S, side C, and angle C. Those are the things we need to find. So there'll be 3 answers to this problem. The easiest one is what? The angle. So angle C will be, is it 65? Everybody clear on that?
Yeah.
Now, see this right here? I mean, the quiz we're going to take is over 5.5, which is the law of sines, but eventually you're going to have to decide, should this be law of sines or law of cosines? This is your clue. When you have that, you're going to do the law of sines every time. If you don't have that, you're going to do the law of cosines. All right, so sine 62 over 10 equals sine 65 over C. But don't sit around squirrel about that, because you're also going to have to do sine 62 over 10 equals sine 53 over S. And it doesn't matter which one you do first. You have to do them both. Okay? So take a second on your calculators. Write down whatever you need to write down. I need to see this. Anything else you write down is up to you. And then we got to figure out what the answer is. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. And we'll just round to the nearest 1,000. So 10 sine 65. I just randomly said that.
5.2.
So for C, let's see. For C, I got 10.265. And for the other one, I got 9.045.
Yep, that's what I got.
Monday is a long way away. This is easy. We all should have this down. But Monday is a long way away. I know on the last day of school, or before weekend, I know how you people are, because I've had you at that time. But if anybody wants to come after school and take the quiz while it's fresh in your mind, that's fine with me. I know you can't all do that, but if you can and want to, you can do that. All right, number 2. How many triangles are possible if A is 39, side A is 10, and side B is 14? And again, it doesn't matter where you put the A, B, and C. Just make sure that wherever you put the 39, the 10 is across from it. All right? Now, do your beady little eyes see that? What are you going to do? Sine 39 over 10 equals sine B over 14. Now, this one is going to be a little trickier Because in order to find angle B, you're gonna need to do your inverse sine, your second sine. You can't solve for just straight up. You're gonna have to do second sine. So, I am going to type in inverse sine that fraction. You will not need to put any parentheses except after the 39, you need to close it. The angle has to be in parentheses. So second sine, 14 sine 39, close parentheses, divided by 10. Yep. Now, kids, pay attention. We got an answer. We got 61.769. What was the question? How many are possible? It's either 0, 1, or 2.
2.
Now, I need to check for a second one. If there is a second one, you guys, it will look just like the first one, except this angle will be 180 minus the first one you got. So if there is a second, this angle will be 118.231.
Yes. That works.
And how do you know it works? Why do you say that works? Because could you find an angle up here?
Yes.
And if you can, then you're gonna have another answer. Don't find it, we don't wanna know what it is,
We don't.
but we could, and therefore this problem has 2. Now, if this first angle here, let's say in the original problem, that had been a 79, then that one wouldn't have worked, and there would be only one answer, right? Anybody remember what happens when there's no answers? You type that in, and it says error. Yeah, that means there's
We
no,
have our calculator for the entire quiz.
dude,
So pretty much we just type it in.
yeah, you just type it in. All right, so what happens on Monday? We have a little law of signs quiz.
Is that it?
We'll do other things on Monday too. Okay,
Like,
all right, let's get our notes out now.
Oh my God! But she missed on a notation.
I'm not sure what's going on, but let's calm down. Jack Lockhart, let's focus in.
Jack a lot worse. Jack.
Huh?
That's his nickname, Jack.
And, well, jack-o'-lanterns bring joy to many little children. I think Jack brings joy to our lives, right?
Yes. He brings joy to a lot
Alright,
of
so
us.
here we go. Alright, problem B. I have a triangle, CHS, again, put the CHS wherever you want it, it doesn't matter. But notice, these are all lowercase letters in problem number B. So what does that mean? These are all sides. So side C is 3.2, side H is 7.6, and side S is 6.4. All right? Now, you guys, you have to solve this triangle. You're not gonna SOHCAHTOA, because it's not a right triangle, there's no right angle. You're not gonna law of sines because you don't have that pair, right? So it's gotta be the law of cosines. Now remember, the law of cosines looks something like this. Well, this is what it looks like. But the letters don't always match up. But what you need to remember is that whatever angle you are involving in the problem, that is the side that's over here by itself. But you're looking at me saying there are no angles in the problem, and you're right, that's the first thing we're gonna find is an angle. So what angle are we gonna find? I'm gonna say H. I like H because H is the biggest. How do I know H is the biggest? Yeah, if the side's big, the angle's big. So I'm gonna do my big angle first. Personal preference, doesn't matter. Now, if I'm using angle H, then my law of cosines is gonna say cosine H out here. I don't know what H is, so cosine H. And then over here is going to be 7.6 squared. That's the way the law of cosines works. If you had put cosine S, then you would have 6.4 here. You see, guys? Okay. Now, what's in the middle? Well, in the middle is just this combination of the other two sides. So I'm gonna have 6.4 squared plus 3.2 squared minus 2, 6.4, 3.2. No one is ever going to say, write the law of cosines. So I don't necessarily want you memorizing that. You can if you want. What I want you to know is how does it work? Because it's so simple. You got your bookends, and then you have that pattern in the middle every single time. Now, be careful when you type this in. All right? Go through it step by step. I'm going to do 7.6 squared. You cannot type this one all in at once, so that's why I'm doing it step by step. So I have 57.76, 40.96, 10.24, and 40.96 cosine H. So I squared, and I squared, and I squared, and I times all that together. Does that make sense to you so far?
Yeah.
Now, here is what you cannot do. This is your variable. That's what you're trying to solve for. You cannot say this plus this minus this. Do you understand that? That can't be part of it because it's hooked to your variable. Now, can you add these two together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and do that. That we can do. So 57.76 equals,
51.2.
all right, I'll take your word for it, 51.2.
You know it's right, though. Subtract the 51.2 over.
So remember, he's right, I hate to admit it, he's right. We're gonna subtract this 51 over because we're solving for cosine. So what do I get when I subtract 51.2? 6.56, check my math. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now what? Divide, so 6.56 divided by negative 40.96 equals cosine H. Hey, this is like a quiz problem we just did. That's cosine H. You can type that in, but it's not the answer, it's a decimal. How are we gonna get the angle? We're actually looking for the angle. Inverse cosine 6.56 divided by negative 40.96. Did you get, H, did you get 99.216?
I could use the song.
Yeah.
All right, type it in again. I think that's right. So type it in again if you didn't get that. So you're doing second cosine, inverse cosine, this number. You good? All right. Now, at this point, you have a choice. All right? Are you listening or talking? At this point, you have a choice, because now, look what you have. Could you now use the law of sine? Or, could you do exactly what you just did, but pick a different angle to do it with? Yeah, and the answer will be the same. Now, Jake says the law of sine's easier. All right, I'm good with that, but I want to caution you about something, so let's go ahead and, no. Let's set up our law of sines. So we'll set up sine 99.216 over 7.6 equals sine S over 6.4. Are you okay with that? Now, here is my caution. There's nothing wrong with this. If I were doing a problem, that's exactly what I would do. But here's what I don't want you doing. I don't want you typing this in on the calculator. So sine S is going to be 6.4 sine 99.216, but I'm gonna put that in parentheses, right? Divided by 7.6. So when I second sign this fraction, I'm gonna use my answer button. Because isn't this the number that's right there on your calculator?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna type
No, no.
second sine 6.4 sine second answer, close parentheses, divided by 7.6.
So don't put 99.216.
No, you use your answer button.
Or else it's gonna be rounded off and we're not gonna get what exact.
So we only round at the very end if we can help it, and we can help it. So we're rounding at the very end.
I get you.
So I got 56.226.
Yep.
And take 180 and subtract.
And now to find our third angle.
But we can't.
Well, we can because these have to add up to 180.
No.
And because of the rounding, they could be off by 1,000th or so, so we're gonna subtract from 180.
I'll subtract.
Yeah, we're gonna subtract from 180. Because they have to add up.
Are you using the rounding one or using the actual?
I gotta use
So
this.
Jake, we have to put it in sine negative 1.
Yeah.
So 24.558.
Because you're finding a angle.
Yeah, so when you are finding an angle, Jake is exactly right. When you are finding an angle, you have to do inverse something. Okay? All right. Right now, you and your partner, I want you to look at problem C. See what you can do with that. All right, so you and your partner are doing problem C. And before I forget, Pi Day is my favorite day. Thank you, those of you who brought stuff in, for making it happen. You're awesome. I was so sad. I was expecting a baby this time of year, and I just wanted him to hold out and come on Pi Day. Little booger was born on the 12th. It's all right. He turned out okay.
When was he born?
March 12th. was the one, he's my third, my fourth, he's the third. He was the one that I was actually, back in the old days, we didn't have office hours, but kids came in to get help before school. And I, down my old classroom, not here, but I was standing up at the board helping a group of kids before school started. And my water broke all over. That was before cell phones. And so it's like, okay. And he was born before the end of first grade. I mean, it just happened just like that. He was great, we were great, everything was fine. It was a little scary there for a while. I'm not sure about my letters, I'm gonna make that 10. So that, I put a B in there, but that B should not be a B, it should be an H. Because it's triangle CHS. So I don't have any B's, so I'm not sure. All right, my friends, what did you notice about the problem? This is not a cosine problem. This is a sine problem. So sine 57 over 11 equals sine h over 10. Or if you use the letters in the problem, it would be sine b over 10. Okay? Now, we're trying to find angle H or angle B, whatever you call this. So we're going to have to inverse sine, correct?
Yep.
So here we go. Second sine. Anytime you put in an angle, please close the parentheses. Did you get 49.679?
Yep.
Well, I have that number on my screen. I'm gonna go ahead and add it to the 57 and subtract from 180. So this one's 73.321. Everybody okay with that? Now, before I get, the directions say solve, so I know that I still have to find side x, right? But before I get too far into it, did anybody think to check if there's another solution? Take a look at the given. Angle, side, side. That's the ambiguous case. That's on your quiz.
I want to spell that one.
So I didn't tell you to check, but you need to check. So if there's another answer over here, if there is another answer, this one's gonna be 180 minus the 49.
Oh, wait, what is that?
No, it's possible.
Is it
You
possible?
got your whole asymptote. Is that what it is?
I bet you asked him to.
Wait, I don't know.
That was July.
I wish I was.
Not possible.
I got confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, airball right now.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
Is it possible?
No, I don't know why
I
you
don't know
say-
why, I don't know why.
Yeah, heck, these actions.
So we're lucky, we're almost done. All we have to do is find side S. So here we go. Sine 57 over 11 equals sine 73.321 over S. Are we going to need our inverse button this time?
No.
Did you get 12.564? 12, yeah, 0.564. Can I get a nod or a shake, one or the other?
Yes.
Okay, so the point of that problem, you guys, is you have to be on the lookout for this combination of information. I always tell students, if you are using the law of sines to find an angle in the first step of the problem, look out. So if you're using the law of sines to find a side, no issue. But if you're finding an angle, be on the lookout. Because you might have another answer. We don't, but you could. Okay? All right. What's next? Now we are going to find the area of a triangle. Now, how you orient, Dana, how you orient your triangle doesn't matter. Just make sure that you have everything labeled correctly. You can put angle A here. It will not matter. Just make sure that you have everything labeled according to however you set up your triangle. Now, the directions say find area. We're not solving it, we're finding area. So 1/2 base times height is what you have learned your whole life, how to find the area of a triangle. Can anybody look up here and tell me why that's a little inconvenient? I don't know the height. Could I find the height? Yes, I actually can. But luckily for us, someone a long time ago said, whoa, whoa, whoa. If you want to find the area of this triangle, all you have to do is take 1/2, 19 times 32 times sine 47.
What? That's a new formula?
Yes. There are lots of ways to find the area of a triangle. You wouldn't believe some of the ways. They're so cool. But one way is take 1/2 times a side times another side times the sine of the angle between them. We call that the included angle. So anytime you have a situation where you know two sides and the angle in between, no work. 1/2. That, sine that.
Okay.
Every time. So I'm just going to type that in on my calculator. 1/2 sine, or side, sine 47. Did you get 222.332? So, are the problems going to get harder than that? Of course they are. But, if you are handed side, size, and angle in between, this is how you're going to find the area. Because it's just boom. So what do you have to have? You have to have two sides and the angle in between them. Okay, folks? Two sides and the angle in between. All right, let's look at problem B. What's wrong with this?
It's not in between the
Exactly. We need two sides.
sides and one angle.
Right, we don't have two sides, so what are we gonna do?
We gotta find another
We're gonna
side.
find another side.
Sine. Oh wait,
And
no.
we're either gonna use the
Let's
law
use the
of
sine.
sine
Yeah, let's use the sine.
or the law of cosines. And we're gonna use sines because we have that
And it's
pair.
easier.
So you're gonna find side A?
Just
So
like-
sine 57 over 12 equals sine 43 over A. Everybody okay? We're not gonna use the inverse button, we're just gonna straight type it in. So, cross multiplying, showing however much work you need to show. I got 9.758, but I'm gonna leave that on my calculator, leave it right there. Because that is not the answer, right?
On the area.
I need the area. Now, what's my little formula say? I
1
need
half
two
12,
sides, or two sides, and the
9.75.
angle in between.
Sine.
So if I am using 12
You find C.
and this number right here,
You find C.
then the angle I need is that one.
80. It's 80.
Yeah, 80. You have to use, this sounds so simple, but you'd be surprised how many times kids mess it up. You have to use the angle between the sides. Alright? Now, when I type this in,
What if instead we found, oh wait, no, I mean,
that's on my calculator, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and multiply it by 12, divide it by 2, and multiply it by the sine of 80. I got an area of 57.660. Anybody else get that? Okay. All right. Last one on this page. This looks like one of the ones we had today. We got 16, 12, and 10. So here's A, here's B, and here's C this time. What are we missing?
Our angle.
We're missing an angle. Oh no, we're missing an angle. So we gotta find an angle. How do we find an angle? Law of cosines. It'll have to be law of cosines, right? It can't be law of sines. So which angle do you wanna find? A. Sounds good to me. So 16 squared. Cosine A out here. In the middle. 12 squared plus 10 squared minus 2, 10, 12 cosine A.
Yep.
Now, these are the ones you have to be careful when you type them in. So let's go ahead, you type it in, see if you can. We did this earlier. See if you can get it typed in. Are you going to need the second cosine eventually? Yeah, absolutely. Anybody have it yet? Jaden? You got it? Are you typing, Jaden? Yeah.
I've been working for a while.
Okay, we're gonna fix, you gotta fix that, honey. I mean, you can't not have a calculator. What, did you get something? What'd you get?
117.818.
Shoot, that's not what I got. Okay, so we're gonna take 16 squared, and we're gonna subtract 12 squared and subtract 10 squared. So we're moving all these things to the other side. And I just got 12.
Yeah, that's what I got.
And then I can multiply all that together and get 240.
240 cosine A, and then.
And then I'll second cosine 12 over negative 240.
and then you just do
Hello,
it
City
later.
Girls. A reminder, there'll be some sessions during the period lunch and the offer B&T period.
Yep,
So we just join Father Jeff in the SLC between
Yeah.
11:45 and 2:45.
But to find area,
Let us pause. Do you mind?
1/2 side sign, but that's in my
In the
calculator.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, thank you for the food before us, the Irish family and friends beside us, and the love of leaders. And we pray. Bless the Lord, and we thank you for your love, and may our Jesus Christ, our Lord, and the name of the Father,
All right, again, anybody who wants to use after school, okay? Have a good weekend, have a good one. Have a cookie on your way out.
Yeah, LeBron Fox is like the
Hey, you're not in pocket. I will help you
You said I had a bait and
I was like, yeah, he said,
reminder that until we match the chapel with Father John as well.
all kinds of things happen. All right, I gotta write down.
can you put this in the, thank you so much. It's like when I used to like 5'5" and 5'6". Like with the total like.
Cross multiply and divide it.
So then you said something about how you do versus side.
So it is gonna be 77 that fraction.
But
This is your mirror.
yeah.
So you're just dividing by 11.
Okay, so then when I put that in, it's
Then sign 57 parentheses divided by 11.
oh, well, I was gonna give you an error, so.
I don't know what you were doing.
I have Mr. Pax's birthday on, like, it was Sunday. Does Monday work?
Oh, you mean this Sunday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
alright.
Let me buy on Monday.
Is this Friday?
Not for you, man.
Well, I was just asking.
You're not one of the cool kids, sorry.
I don't want to be a cool kid.
What? What?
Me and Mr. Meyer are doing our own Pi Day party.
You guys do it.
Yeah.
You look like, honey, are you okay? You look like you're getting very skinny.
Yes, I'm okay. Purposeful.
It is? Okay, what are you trying to do?
Look better, feel better.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. It's not like for some wrestling.
No.
thing or something like that.
Yeah, those guys always look really
Well,
bad.
take care. All right. Oh, I need to turn the video off.